just do the hill, like Google the hill
Is that in is that
budget,
in Discord?
house budget resolution.
Is that in?
I'll grab it.
But where's the Hill article though?
I don't have it in there. I'll have to get to you.
Okay.
I went live already, by the way, but
Okay. 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 I'm going right now. Going right now. Baby, baby. We should have a theme song. I would like a theme song.
we need to. Yeah, I actually that is something that I wanted to say that we should eventually maybe try to commission a little jingle or something, a little like intro thing.
Yeah. Did you zoom in on your webcam?
No, why?
Okay.
I'm not
No,
looking at it.
it just looked at it. It looks different. Your setup looks different. Did you move something? There was a table behind you?
There was, yeah, but it's
Okay.
I moved it slightly forward.
No, no, I just it just looked different. But it's
No,
fine.
it's still the same. I don't really understand how. I still have to figure out how this camera works because I feel like
I think what
I'm
you
getting like so many different angles, but I'm like just sitting right in front of it, like whatever.
yo, what's up? What's up, Cass? No, no, the camera. I think the camera's fine. I think the angle works. I think you have a lot of blank space behind you.
I do
Uh,
well. Yeah, it's not gonna be like this for very long. Once the desk gets finished,
yes.
um I'm gonna pivot, and then I'll be facing like the rest of the room. I'm literally just like in a corner right now
In a
because
corner.
I'm
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
laughing
I
at
totally
the
get you. But I think
yeah.
that's what it is. That's what that, like makes the
It
angles
looks
look a
like
little
I'm just in
different.
like a sea of yellow, and also like yellow.
Yes.
Like I look
Like you
very
don't even
washed
see a
out by
corner.
yellow. No, it's
There's not even a
like
corner.
I am. I'm literally in a corner. So yeah, and like I know I look like I kind of like asylum because I don't have like art behind me or anything. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been meaning to commission somebody to I have a painting. I had AI draw up a painting of what I want. Um and I'm looking for an artist to like paint it for me. I don't really give a shit about the money. I just want it to look good, and I haven't run across like anybody that will do it for me. So,
mm,
but
it's hard
it'll
to.
be so awesome. So I only have like two pictures
That's
of
fine.
or two shirts behind me. I put two sports shirts behind me to have something like behind me, because otherwise it's just like a blank wall behind me, and I hated
Mm.
that. All right, all right. Should we get started?
Yeah, go for it.
All right,
It's
guys.
really seldom sunny
Welcome
that
to
way.
a lovely Thursday, just a day after Hump Week. As always, you know what time it is. It is all the factors. We're gonna discuss what's going on in America.
She
It's
will
just,
not let up on your hair.
listen. Yeah, my hair's growing back. I don't know why I do this. It's just I get pissed because I take so long to get a haircut because like my days are crazy sometimes.
Is
So
it?
I get sick of it.
So you
Because I get
like
sick of it, I just
rage
go
and
like I just rage cut it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I rage cut it, and like this time it went a little too far. So
you have
what
to know your
I'm
limits, guys.
I have to know my limits. So basically, I just have to let it grow out and remember to never do this again. One good thing about me, oh come on, man, like I got plenty of good things. But anyway, so all the factors are discussing a bunch of different things. We're talking about Doge and all the crazy stuff that's happening there.
Crazy how Doge keeps coming up week after week after
It's
week.
never gonna go away. It's never gonna go away. But you are here on a lovely Thursday evening. It's raining in Connecticut, and
Mm. You guys got snow over the
we
weekend,
got
right?
ton of snow. We got ton of snow. We got snow last week. Then we got about 8 to 10 inches of snow last snowstorm, and then we got a little bit of snow showers yesterday, and now it's raining today, and then we have more snow Saturday.
Wow, it's a lot.
You're missing out on all the fun. Uh, Yeah, I hate her. I
I
hate
know.
her. I was just talking to my wife about it. Like, you know what I hate about her?
She's
You know what
so
I hate about
passionate
her?
about it.
No. Like,
Her
I'm sorry.
attitude. No,
Can I
go
just be a
go.
bully and I just want to be a bully, please. Like, I just want to be a bully. I
Okay.
want to be
Okay.
superficial. I don't give a shit. Cancel me all you want. It's the space between like the end of her nose and the top of her lips. It's just too much. There's just too much space there. And it's just
Oh my.
like normally like you would take one finger and be able to put it there and you're fine, like that's enough space, maybe a little bit longer than that, but her, I swear to god to you, I can put a whole hand there and
Okay.
still be enough real estate. Just go look at it. I don't care. I don't care. Like I know what I sound like. It's just I'm body shaming. I don't care. But every time I look at her face, that's just what I'm fucking looking at. Like
I think
I,
it's because it's like
it's
flat.
some
Like
sort of plastic surgery gone wrong.
she doesn't have a very prominent like whatever like the two lines there are. It's just like kind of flat. So
What two lines are you talking about?
like it's like you know how people have like lines above their lips. Like I'm I'm just saying it's very flat
Like
on
yeah,
her.
I get that, but like that's not what I'm talking about. I think the space is just too much.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't care about the body shaming. I get I'm body shaming. I don't care about that. I'm just like it's not a Cupid's peak. It's like a Cupid's hill. Like we're fucking. It's a mountain there. Like it's too much. It's a very punchable face. I don't. But it's just like I hear her voice and I'm just paying attention to that, and it's just like it's just on top
Yeah.
of
No,
that
I
being
just find
unqualified and just the attitude for no
the
fucking reason.
attitude is
Like
just
it
yeah
does not have that.
horrible.
Like why is that job, like the qualification for that job is just like you have to be just combative. Like why are we have but like why are
I
we so
mean
competitive in that role?
they're not even
Like
mean to
all
her.
of them, not even just Republicans, but all of them are.
They're just asking, like, I mean, like the Gulf of America thing. I mean, that wasn't a hostile question. It was just like, is it because I think it's the Associated Press? Like, is the Associated Press not allowed in the Oval Office because they're not complying with the Gulf of America thing? And she's like, first of all, like,
Yeah,
okay, like you don't have to do that.
you don't have to do that. Like it doesn't. Like what? Why is it that way? Like it's just stupid. It's just very
Yeah.
stupid. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So and like the Gulf of America thing, that's just so dumb. Why do like it doesn't serve any other purpose except for like just a fucking talking brownie point. Like,
I know. She acts
look,
like
America,
that's
we did
like
this.
she acts like that was like written in blood in the Constitution when it's just like no, a couple companies have complied with him and the rest
Yeah,
of the world isn't.
he
Like it
isn't. No, they're
doesn't
not.
like
But it's
it
just
is
stupid.
for us if we're using like Google Maps.
Yeah, that's why we go with the Apple Maps. They're much better.
Mm.
Trust
I
me,
don't have
it's
an
much better.
iPhone.
It's much better. Like significantly better. My wife, she's all fucking Samsung everything. Whenever we go somewhere and we use her phone because I'm driving, I don't want to look at my phone. We get lost every fucking time. We get lost. No. There's no like it's a fucking thing that I'm saying and it's not real. No, it's a very real thing. We
Are
get
you
lost
just
all the
saying?
time.
Are you just saying
I'm
that
not
because
just saying it.
Because I always use.
Hey, I will open up my phone and show it to the world. I have Google Maps too. It's just shitty. It's just shitty.
I mean, I'm not trying to defend Google with all of their, misgivings
Hey,
here.
come on, Sundar Pichai. What the fuck are we doing, bar? Like, what are we doing?
Complying. Complying.
Why are we doing this, brother? But what's going on here? Anyways, back to my introduction, which is 30 minutes late. Um, we are we are we are here. All the factors. Week 13. Thank you for joining us, and we appreciate you guys being here. You're joined by Nav and
And Annette.
oh, a little too fast. Just wait for me to get there, brother.
Just let me
Come on
say
now.
and then.
Like, okay, sure. I'm fine with that. Is that how we want to do it? Can we get a system going in place?
That's how we're gonna do it. Yep.
That's good. So I'm
I'll
gonna
say
go.
and
You're joined
Annette.
by Nav and no, I'm sorry. You're joined by Nav
And Annette.
and Annette. So if you guys already didn't know, this is Nav and that's Annette.
And Annette.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about Doge. We're doing Doge things, as you could tell by the title.
Yeah.
What do you got for Doge? What's happening with Doge?
Well, why don't we get there? I think it makes sense to
Oh,
do
should we do a little
updates
recap?
I think it makes more sense to do updates at the top.
Okay. Okay.
I can share some updates, and then you can get into your tariff updates.
Yes, and I want to make clarification about the Greenland thing, but we'll do that a little towards the end. Yeah.
Yes, because there you have the opportunity to speak on Greenland
Okay.
because
Uh,
you
uh,
put energy out into the world that said that Trump should get Greenland, and now Congress is taking one step closer to making your dream a reality.
Go ahead with your update. We'll get there. You know what I mean? Like we'll get there. We'll get there. Like I don't want the red, white, and blue land, please.
All
Just because
right,
it
so
was based after a color, we don't need to. We don't need to do that. We
so I'm just
don't.
gonna like whip them out just because these are just like one sentence updates.
Okay.
And we can, then you can get to the tariffs thing. So just we talked about Guantanamo Bay.
Okay.
The first group of uh, migrants allegedly part of a Venezuelan gang. Um, they did. They have arrived there. This is like we're about like a week late on reporting this, but so Guantanamo Bay is officially up and running. For Trump's usage of it for deportee holding, I guess. There are some instances, I guess, in the past where the Biden administration did use it that way, but um,
Right.
not in the same way that it's being intended to now. I mean, they're not
Yes.
even ready for it. Basically, the detainees like arrived and then they set up like tents for them because
Yeah.
they're not ready.
Yeah.
So that's one
That's
thing.
that's what I was gonna say. I think it's fair to mention that this is when we talk about using Guantanamo Bay, it's not exactly the where the terrorists and the higher level security prisoners are hiding. It's just a separate side of the prison which
Right.
has been
Right.
previously
It's not.
used for
It
this
isn't
stuff.
all like they're not mixed in with like the terrorists, but they're still. It's not. It's just not a great look.
No, not at all.
And I mean, there's no evidence that they're actually going to be treated well because I mean
Right.
just right off the bat
When are they ever?
they're sleeping in tents and the last article I read didn't give any sort of update as to when they think that's going to be resolved. So.
Um, Also, I'll throw in a side note a little too. India is going kind of crazy. The Congress Party. So in India has multiple different parties. Um, One of them is the Congress, which is started to. It used to be the more powerful party in India before the BJP really took control with Narendra Modi, who is in United States right now. He just met with Elon Musk, um,
Yeah,
which is
Trump had a
something.
press conference today before he met with Modi, and they asked him what Elon was talking to him about, and he said, "I don't know." So
Yeah.
that's
So
nice.
it's
That's good to know.
that's a little funny thing that I also want to mention too. Like, why is he acting like a world leader? A world leader is supposed to be meeting with world leaders, right? Like, this is your first
Right.
visit, and he meets Elon before he meets Trump, which is kind of a little.
Which is crazy. And I
That was
mean,
it for the.
they specifically asked Trump like, is Elon meeting like as a business person, like of his own
Yeah,
accord, or
or
is he
Doge,
meeting like as a representative of the government? And Trump was just like, oh, I don't know, I'll find out later.
right? To
Okay.
which just goes to show the the unqualified nature of this whole administration.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the Congress Party has been doing protests against uh, the BJP and the Modi government and the Modi
Mm-hmm.
administration because the horrible treatments of the 200, I believe, were deported. So the 200 Indian nationals that were deported. I think from the interviews that I've heard so far, they arrested them under false pretenses, like, oh, we're going to take you to a camp, or we're going to take you to like a cell, but um, they were immediately boarded onto a plane, which I think the flight was 40 hours long, and they weren't allowed to use any kind of restrooms. And if they got up, they were hit.
Wow.
Um, and I no way to prove this from what I've heard. This is first-hand account from the deported national Indian citizens.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So what happened on the plane, we don't have videos of that. But from what we've seen is from them loading the planes, instead of it being a commercial airline and it was a military plane.
Okay.
And they were bound by the hands and feet to the plane, and they weren't allowed to get up. So that much is factual and true.
Yeah. And I mean,
India's kind of having,
they've done that. That's the exact same thing that happened with Colombia. That's why. So it's not like it's
yeah,
out of. Yeah.
out of the blue.
Yeah.
So a lot of that protest is happening because the inhumane treatment, and it kind of goes to your point of, um, it's only going to get worse. The treatments are only going to get worse.
Right.
This is just starting. This is kind of almost like normalizing this a little bit. Uh, so yeah, that was
True. I
Guantanamo
mean,
Bay.
the more it happens, the the less likely there's gonna be outpouring against it. Eventually, people are just gonna kind of be desensitized to it.
Yeah. Okay, what's next on the update?
Sure. So, just that there have been a lot of of the executive orders that Trump put out have started to be blocked by judges.
Yeah.
The birthright citizenship, like that's already been determined unconstitutional.
Right.
Um,
That
I
was a
mean,
given.
essentially, they're popping up for almost everything that Trump has, put executive orders out for. I mean, there was there's been on student loans. It was it kind of student loans were kind of in with the package of everything that Elon's group of six 12-year-olds were kind of looking into.
Yeah.
So I believe a judge did put a stay on that as well because of the potential data insecurity of that. I mean, these people don't. We'll talk about that a little bit more, but these people don't have security clearances or
Right.
anything like that. So I mean, it is kind of good to see we are starting to see things, be put on pause. I mean, with the going way back to the federal freeze. I mean, Trump did rescind that, but it is also nice to see that still, in the courts. That has been what is it called? Well, basically, they said that they can't continue with the freeze as
Yeah.
laid out because it's not
It's
constitutional. So
yeah, it's a violation of Article 3 powers. It's
right,
a violation of separate powers. It's if Congress dedicates um, a budget towards something or funds towards something, the president has to spend it. I know there was, I think this is a little bit of a history lesson. I can't exactly remember the president that did decide to not do. I think it might have been Nixon. Nixon says he can decide how long he has before he uses the funds. I think there was some sort of court cases against that. I don't know if that became president or however that ended. But I think it's fairly well established that Article 3 gives powers to Congress for the purse. That whatever funds are allocated,
yeah,
the president
absolutely.
doesn't have a choice of that.
Right, we talked about that a little bit. It's called
Oh,
impoundment, basically trying to steal that power away from Congress,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's not.
It
It's
was
never
a
been
Supreme Court
approved.
case. It has to do with I think there was a Nixon case too. It was a Supreme Court case with New York State and New York City, I believe, that were trying to. They were both in line for some sort of had to do with some sort of radiation waste, where the town was giving permission to the state, and they were both under the same page. But then, they went through a whole court case. Um, but it was ruled that yes, whatever funds are allocated have to be used.
Yeah,
Okay, what else we got? You want to do a little bit of tariff thing?
yeah, go for it.
Okay. So I think I want to take this opportunity. I saw a really awesome video. How do I go to the ones where I've saved? I saw a video that favorites right here. So I want to just take this opportunity to kind of watch this video together. It's a short, quick video. It's a TikTok. Um, but it kind of just talks about Econ 101. Like this is something you'll see if you just take a um, basic refresher course in in high school, even not even at a graduate level, even just um, at an undergrad level. Let me see if I can share that with you. Do you want to share it, or should we just watch it together? We'll just watch it together, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have it up unless it's in Discord.
Okay, let me just. I'm gonna share it right here. So yeah, let's just watch this real quick, and then we'll both learn something. I think it's fairly straightforward how he talks about it, and like what exactly are tariffs and how how they'll impact the producers, the consumers, and the government. Like, so there that misconception of like what exactly tariffs are going to do to America will be cleared. So I think this is a really good video. The handle is Econ PhD student. So guy that is somewhat knowledgeable. He's just talking about a basic thing. You don't need a PhD, you don't need a master's to understand what he's talking about. A basic level Econ 101, like just the most basic thing you can think of is what's going to be talked about here. So let's just do a quick lesson. It's a 3 minute long video. You'll walk away a little bit more informed. Yeah, let's do it.
Great.
You may have seen graphs like this to represent what society loses from taxing imports. I want to explain what it means and where it comes from. Let's start with the axes. On the x-axis, we have quantity, and on the y-axis, we have price, because economists like to think about the costs and benefits of consuming and producing different quantities. So the demand curve slopes downwards because as the quantity increases, people's willingness to pay for another unit goes down. More intuitively, as the price goes up, the quantity that people demand is going to go down. The supply curve is the opposite. As the price goes up, producers are willing to supply more. So with just domestic demand, you'll reach some price and quantity where quantity demanded equals quantity supplied. If you had a higher quantity than that, the amount that people would be willing to pay for it would be less than it would cost to produce. And if you had less, people would be willing to pay more than it costs to produce, and you'd just produce more. Now let's add trade. People tend to draw the global supply curve as just this flat line based on the idea that there are so many global suppliers that there's just a single world price that you can import as much as you want at. For a big country like the US, this might not make that much sense, so I'll draw it like this. At the start here is where domestic producers have a cost advantage over foreign producers because they don't need to ship their goods. So here...
So just for a little bit of explanation. So like I think the demand and the domestic supply, that is self-explanatory. I don't need to talk about that. The reason he draws that little line for the global supply a little bit more weird because you have to account for domestic supply of this something too, right? We don't always buy everything shipped from the outside. We make some of it here as well. So that line changes a little. And then the reason that line doesn't start from where the price line or at zero is because it's looking at the cost of the global supply, right? Or the cost of that product. So let's say if you're making something that's relatively cheap, and you're not making a lot of it, it doesn't make sense for you to buy from China because the shipping cost is obviously going to be a lot more than what it would just cost you to make it here. However, as you make more and more of it, it's obviously you would need to expand your workforce. But if again, an American workforce costs a lot more, so it is beneficial for you to do globalization and ship that, and then have the product be made somewhere where the labor market is cheaper. So that's why that line is a little bit wonky. So just be aware of that, and that's very, very important to this whole thing.
Domestic producers are the only ones really competing. And then we're going to enter this upward sloping part that notably has a lower slope because now there are some foreign producers that are producing as cheaply or better than domestic producers.
Right.
So at a given price, there are more producers that can produce that good, and you're going to have a supply curve that lies further out. That's going to give you this price and quantity, which is a lower price and a higher quantity than just with domestic supply alone. If that wasn't the case, you wouldn't be importing and there wouldn't even be anything to tariff. With just domestic supply, these are the gains that we get from having this market. In red, we have all of the willingness to pay people have for a good minus the price they end up paying for it here. And in blue, we have how much the producers get paid to produce those goods minus their costs. With trade, the red area, the consumer surplus, becomes much bigger, but the blue area, the producer surplus, becomes smaller. In purple are the foreign producers surplus, who maybe we don't care about. But what we should notice is that the red area got bigger by more than the blue area got smaller. Specifically, this whole triangle here, which are the gains from trade. Now, if I add a tariff, I make it more expensive to import foreign goods, so that line's going to shift up, and we're going to have a higher price and a lower quantity than we would have otherwise. The higher price helps producers, but it hurts consumers, and it hurts consumers by more than it helps producers. But we do get tax revenue here in yellow, and maybe that tax revenue is going to be used for something good. So the real loss are these little pink areas, which nobody gets. So all the action is in this black little box. This is surplus that consumers would have gotten under trade because they could buy things they wanted at a price lower than they would have wanted them at. But now, because the price have risen, producers are going to get some benefit, right? They're going to produce this whole area, and the government's going to get some benefit because it's going to get this yellow area. But those two benefits don't counteract how much the consumers have lost. Consumers have lost these areas as well in pink, and nobody is getting those benefits to make up for it. You may think that more money going to producers or the government is good because it's going to generate more jobs, but this isn't obvious because the consumers for a given good might themselves be businesses that might have generated jobs. Or the money that consumers would have saved on one thing, they would have spent somewhere else that would have also generated jobs.
I mean, it reminds me of anything else that we've talked about. There's also just, in general, no guarantee that, I mean, it's kind of up to the company, right, to just pass those benefits onto the consumer, which they typically don't.
Right. And again, kind of like the point we mentioned last week when we were talking about this stuff is like, if Trump comes out and says, hey, we're just going to have to absorb this extra cost to bring that industry back to America. Okay, I understand that point. Like that's a fair point. Like, yeah, you're going to have to pay for a lot more stuff because it's American made. American labor costs a lot more. So things are just going to cost a lot more. You can't have both ways. It doesn't work both ways. You have to pick a side here, right? And this is exactly why, right?
Right. It's never
genuine costs.
Right.
That then you might weigh against other benefits. There are arguments for why targeted tariffs might be good. I thought this article by Noah Smith was pretty good at explaining those. But hopefully this analysis clarifies why there are real costs to consumers of imposing tariffs that have to be reckoned with when considering this kind of policy tool. With tariff.
Right. So that was a quick little explanation of like what blanket tariffs do, right? Like it's just harmful for the consumer, and you are the consumer. Like you need to be very aware of that. Like that doesn't benefit you. Blanket tariffs don't benefit you.
So did you see that Trump announced reciprocal tariffs today, or looking into reciprocal tariffs? You want to use your business degree to educate me on that?
Brother, okay. What are you throwing? What are we doing? What reciprocal tariffs?
You love to pop quiz me.
What do you even mean? Like, who did he put these reciprocal tariffs on?
It sounds like he wants just an investigation into any country, like any country that has like a tariff on us. He just wants to give it back.
Okay, I just want to read his quote. I have decided to propose fairness that I will charge a reciprocal tariff, meaning whatever countries charge the United States of America, we will charge them, no more, no less.
No more, no less.
But he's the one that doing first.
I mean, for the most part, yeah. I mean, I don't really, up until now, I haven't been following tariffs super closely. It's not like a super special interest of mine. But, I mean, I imagine there are countries out there that have some tariffs on our stuff.
Yeah, maybe. Usually we're usually the importers. We don't really export anything. We hardly export anything.
What would this even do? Like,
huh?
What would this even do? Like, what's the point?
I don't know. I don't I don't know.
Sorry, I just saw the announcement and I just wanted to.
No, but like a tariff would be okay. Well, we're tariffing a certain country for the product that's coming in, or a certain company that's product's coming in, right?
Yeah.
So like, why is the only explanation that I can think of is China, which is a really closed economy. They don't allow their.
From us?
Huh?
Sorry.
No, not necessarily buying anything from us, but they're such a closed economy. Their trade surplus is always very, very high, but that's artificially inflated because they force. So let's say you're a company in China, right? You wanna sell shoes. Just because I'm fucking looking at shoes. You're making shoes and you want to sell shoes, right? Um, you can only exchange currency in the Chinese yuan. If you want to get dollars, you have to sell your products to the US, right? And they don't allow any other companies to come into China. Like yeah, Nike can come there and open up a shop there and then partner with somebody and sell the product there. Like there's certain companies that they've allowed to come in, but like I can't just go to China and just use that labor, make that company, and then like not trade within China and just trade with the outside. Like that doesn't work like that. For
Right.
you to have any kind of outside currency, you have to do a trade surplus. You have to sell, and that's how whatever money you get, and it's like very taxed. So it's closed. They don't allow really any company to just come to China. Like I could, that's not really like a tariff. It doesn't make sense because we don't really like sell anything except for like weapons. Not a whole lot. We're mainly importers. We always like buy something. I don't know. I mean I don't know much about tariffs to begin with. But reciprocal tariffs are just like oh you've tariffed us, we'll tariff you back. But he's the one tariffing. Like he's the one starting it. So what is
Right.
so what does it mean is like oh I'm gonna put 25% on Canada, but then if they put 25 on us, then we're gonna put another 25 on. Like is that what he means by that? Like I don't know.
Well,
'Cause
he
like
wants an investigation, so it sounds like he wants some team to sit down and look at every country, see if they have a tariff on
can
us,
we
and
look at
then if
that?
they
Like
do,
what
we just
countries
levy it back.
have tariffs on the again what countries have tariffs against the United States? Fact sheet. Okay. Fact sheet. The president of the United States imposes tariffs on imports from. Okay, no, not that. No, I just want a list. See
Trump
the
said
World
America
Trade.
needs a fair trade policy that makes U.S. goods more attractive on the market. So maybe it's preemptive. Like he's assuming that he's gonna fix our manufacturing and we're just gonna make top quality stuff again. I know he wants to like reinvigorate like the car market. Um, so I don't know. So maybe it's preemptive, or
Okay,
maybe it's just petty. It could just be straight petty. Who knows?
so this is the article from NPR. I'm not understanding what he's saying. The President Trump is threatening a round of reciprocal tariffs, suggesting the U.S. could tax imported goods at the same level that other countries tax U.S. imports. Isn't that just regular tariffs? Says such tariffs would help domestic producers that reduce the nation's trade deficit. However, economists fear that tariffs could also put upward pressure on pricing, making it harder to curb the stubborn inflation. And inflation is high in January for the first time in what, 2 years?
Hmm. Interesting.
Yes, that was a article that came out, and the job market was less uh, than expected in January as well. Any new tariffs would follow 25% imported taxes Trump has already ordered on steel and aluminum from other countries. So it's a new any new tariffs would follow so there'd be more tariffs on the 25 he's already added on to steel. So I guess that's what he means. Like he's saying like, "Oh, I'm going to tariff you, but if you tariff me back, I'm going to add on more tariffs." I think that's what he's
Interesting.
saying. Trump has also shown okay the burst of new import taxes come as price in U.S. continue to climb. For this week's Labor Department reported the wholesale prices jumped 3.5% in the last 12 month, while the consumer prices rose 3%. So inflation is up 3%. I guess is that's if that's what they mean.
So in the CNN article, it looks like he's singling out like motorcycles sold to India. Um, I guess they have a pretty large
Harley
tariff on it,
Davidson.
which is a very like really just like a very. It seems like making a mountain out of a molehill. Like I don't I don't
So
think, are these
so
motorcycles really bringing down our economy that much? Like,
no, nobody. So what he's saying, India has a huge tariff on Harley Davidsons, pretty much.
yeah. The quote says, I
What?
remember when Harley
But I will
Davidson
say
didn't sell
this.
their motorbikes into India because of the fact that the tax was too high. A fact sheet claimed charges of 100% tariff on U.S. motorcycles, while we only charge a 2.4% tariff on Indian motorcycles. So he's claiming there's a hugely unequal tariff on like
Motorcycles.
our motorcycles versus like when we import.
Yeah, I don't, I,
Doesn't
I don't.
seem, I don't think this is an
Not life
economy-breaking
changing.
problem. Like,
Yeah, I don't really think it's a life. No,
I
It-
hope our economy isn't resting on
Harley Davidsons.
motorcycles. Yeah.
No,
just
but then
can't
think about it though.
imagine.
Well, you have to realize, Indians. There's a huge population of Indians that use motorcycles. It's everywhere. It's really the use of motorcycles is prevalent because it's such a massive country. Cars aren't, and a poor country.
So he sees it as like a huge market.
It's not
for
necessarily a huge
our-
market because if for Harley Davidson to make their motorcycles here, or unless they're making them over there, and like the Indian government is discouraging that fact, I guess that sort of makes sense if that's how you
Says,
go into it.
Trump said India could potentially avoid new tariffs if they bring more production to the United States.
But what does that mean though? What will India produce in the United States?
I don't know. It's confusing.
It's very confusing. India is doing the opposite. They want companies to go over there. They want you to produce over there. They usually don't allow tariff. They want production over there, so they don't go for tariffs a
I
lot
don't
of the
thi- yeah,
times.
I mean, I don't think that's why
It doesn't benefit.
they have huge tariffs on other countries, I would imagine. So I don't think he's gonna convince.
Who, India has huge tariffs on other countries?
Well, that's what this claims.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. India always wants some sort of, like, Modi's been traveling around the U.S. and other countries for production to come to India. For companies
Well,
to
right,
come
so
to
wouldn't
India,
it-
they want to be made in India. To provide jobs. So like tariffs
So yeah, I
wouldn't
guess levying tariffs on people would piss them off, and they wouldn't want
Wouldn't
to
go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Or it could be that it's just an import tariff, so companies are more likely to go to India and produce a product there, so they don't have to pay the import and they access the market that way.
Maybe.
I guess that's thinking of it. I don't know what India's doing with this, but to go back to the Harley Davidson and or motorcycle in general, if somebody has enough money to buy, if you're an Indian citizen, you have enough money to buy American-made product, you're really well off. You don't give a shit about the fucking taxes or whatnot. You know what I mean? Like you can afford it either way.
Interesting.
Like the price discrepancy from Indian-made product to American-made product is, I guarantee you, it's very high. It's very high. So you would do it anyways. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look into that. But like reciprocal tariffs, I don't
Yeah,
I don't know.
that
I don't
was
know
a
what
thing
like
until
what
today. I
what
thought
is
they were
what is
just
it,
tariffs. I
it's
didn't
not a
realize it
thing.
was,
There's
like, different.
like in terms of tariffs, there's only like 4 types of tariffs. There's like 4 types of tariffs. There's
So are you saying he
ad
made up the
valorem
term
compound
reciprocal?
tariff rate quota. Like he just invented a new thing. I don't know what that means. I think he literally just means like if I'm gonna tariff you, and if you tariff me, I'm gonna tariff you more. I really think that's what he's talking about. Like I don't know what that is.
Reciprocal Tariff Act.
I don't.
Made it up, but it's.
He might, but I don't know what that is. I honestly don't know what that is. And plus, my business degree is in management and law, not fucking financial institutions. All right, and financial policy. And don't try to pull my tricks on me. First of all, don't try to throw them back over here. I know what I'm talking about.
You handled it better than I usually do because I usually have no idea what's
You
happening.
usually go, can you stop asking me stuff, please?
I hate it. I hate pop quizzes. My
But
brain
they
is
did it in high
not-
school. What'd you do then?
I didn't. I mean, they were written. I could make something up written.
Yeah. What?
It's not good vocally on the spot.
The Somers High School education is showing.
Could have been better.
Could could have been a lot worse. If you imagine you went to high school in South Carolina, oof, that's a little,
Ugh,
it's a little rough on the rough end, brother.
yeah. 38th. 38th.
30. Hey, Connecticut is up there. I think it's like a top 5 easily.
I think it's 6.
It's
last
6.
time I looked at
Oh,
it,
we gotta do
yeah.
better. We gotta do better.
I think,
okay.
I want to say Massachusetts is number 1, maybe.
Yeah, Mass is always number 1. Mass is always number 1.
There. No, they're 1 in healthcare. Somebody else is number 1.
Should we
in
just look it up?
Education.
Should we just
Yeah,
look it up? Let's look it up.
We don't have to,
Uh,
we don't have to follow our
Education
outline.
ranked.
There's no rules. There's no rules here.
We right. Well, you made an outline and public school rankings, world population review. Is that good or national report card? Let's do national report card. That seems more authentic. Oh, this divides it like
That's fancy.
by section. That is very fancy. We'll just do 12th grade. I feel like that's like a catch-all, right? Should we just do mathematics or what are we doing here?
Can we just find a general number?
I guess not.
What state is ranked number 1 in education? Oh.
It doesn't even
Google
fucking
says Florida. Okay.
that, yeah. The
AI
whatever you're seeing in South Carolina, brother, is not the way to go.
But World Population Review says Massachusetts.
Let's look at world population
So-
review.
I'm gonna trust that.
It's saying Jersey for me.
Oh, I have seen that before too.
Public school ranking by states, overall rankings. So it's Jersey,
this puts
New
Connecticut
Hampshire,
at number 2.
Connecticut number 3 for me.
Oh, nice.
We should look into this. Why are we seeing different results?
Yeah, that's weird.
We're,
And we're on the
you're
same
on World
page.
Review state, right? And it says public rankings by state.
Yeah, can you scroll up just to make sure that?
This is as far as it goes.
Yeah,
Should I send you the link and maybe you see it?
Yeah, I'm on the exact same.
You're in the exact same thing. And what does it say for number 1 is Jersey for you?
No, for me it says Massachusetts.
Number 1 is Mass for you.
Yeah. That's weird.
This is insane.
Yeah, you want to send me that link and when I click on it, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Hey guys, I forgot. Please go follow all the factors. We have our own Twitch page, and it doesn't pop up. What the fuck? What are we doing here? Oh, there's no spaces. So we have our own. We've made our own page. We'll be posting there. So I'm gonna paste that sent. Please do give us a follow there. And open that up. Let me see if it's. Oh, but over here at the bottom it says Mass. And 2 is Connecticut.
That's what I saw. Yeah, I saw that same list that same way.
But what about up here? What is this?
I'm not seeing all that up there.
Oh, you're not seeing all that up there. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're seeing the same thing. So 3 is Jersey for you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Connecticut's number 2.
Adult
So
ones.
2024, Connecticut is up. We're up. Let's go, Connecticut. Let's go, Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Yeah, we're fucking live out here. And we have a $2 billion surplus. We got $2 billion to spend somewhere. Every year we've been saving up money. Connecticut get that fat check.
That's
that
nice.
Fat check.
What?
And we love Connecticut, man.
Almost
Connecticut's just the
$1 million
best.
just went missing in South Carolina.
Yeah, nobody's talked about that, right?
I mean, we
Oh,
still haven't
and
gotten there. I think we're just moving past it. We just are supposed to accept that $2 billion went missing.
that it's just gone missing. And aren't they doing their own Doge at a state level?
Yes.
No. Can we stay on this point for a bit? Why are you in that state, first of all? Do you have any good reason? I'm just saying. Yo, Jay, what's up, brother?
Man.
Thank you for the
There's-
sub.
I think I own a house.
I will not ask you to
so
defend. It's like a pop quiz. I apologize.
I'm a little stuck, I think, for a while.
Yeah, Connecticut rocks. South Carolina sucks. I stand on that business. I stand on that business. Okay. All right. All right. Let's move on to our timeline. What do you got on our timeline?
Oh, sure. So did we want to talk about Doge?
Do we want to talk about Greenland?
Go ahead. Talk about Greenland.
No. Let's talk about Doge. You
Okay.
seem disappointed that I wanted to talk about Greenland.
You can
It's
talk
alright.
about Greenland.
No.
You can't.
No. Hey, it's not Greenland anymore. It's red, white, and blue land.
You're right. Well, not yet.
We have to
still
accept
have to
it.
vote on the bill. I feel like we're all like forgetting about like the democratic process here. Like,
Is there a democratic process?
we're just at the first stage. They introduced a bill. Rep Buddy Carter. That's a normal name.
Of course. Of
Normal
course.
People are named Buddy. That's fine. That's not an elf name at all.
What are you, a name shamer now? You're name shaming here? Rep Buddy Carter. Wow.
And yeah, he introduced a very serious bill. That bill said we're gonna rename Greenland to Red, White, and Blue Land because that's the thing that Americans need. That's what the mandate declared.
Let's see what Rep Buddy Carter looks like. As you would expect. As you would expect.
I know, I can't even say anything without him shouting. Ooh. Yeah, that's Buddy.
Why is he caving in? Like,
He is
he's just
caving
caving in. Like, it's just something is caving in.
And
Hate does not do good.
Like, that's the did I do good face? Did I do good? Mr. Trump?
And Trump is
proud
like,
of me
yeah,
now?"
buddy. Yeah, buddy, you did good. Buddy, you did great. You
Yeah.
did great, buddy. All right, can we read the first? Greenland shall be known as Red, White, and Blue Land. The text states any reference in a map, law, regulation, document, paper, or other records of the United States to Greenland shall be deemed to be referred as Red, White, and
As
Blue Land.
punishable by death.
Yes.
Like if you don't comply.
It sounds very much like that, right? Like, take him to the fucking
It's now
guillotine.
hereby known as Red, White, and Blue Land.
Carter has not spoken to Trump about the bill, which has no co-sponsors as
I
of
love how there's
Tuesday.
So many just like embarrassing like members of Congress. Where
It
everybody else
it
is
really
like,
is.
Hey, good for you. Go ahead, present it to us all. Nobody's gonna laugh. Don't worry. I'm not gonna co-sign. You know, I really think this is your time to shine. You, know,
It
you should
really
just be alone on this. I'm not gonna co-sign, but yeah, go for it, buddy. Like, okay. It's just embarrassing. And then like to not even talk to Trump about it. Probably doesn't even have his number. Trump doesn't take his calls.
Daddy Trump not returning the calls. So this is why he did it. He's jealous. So he's like, I know how to get his attention.
That's all.
I-
That's
But he
all I
literally
can
should have
imagine.
called it Trumpland.
Yeah.
It would have gotten all the co-sponsors.
I think he tried to co-off Gulf of America, but it just didn't. It just doesn't hit the same.
It just doesn't. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
I just
Well,
and I want to apologize to people watching. I've made the mistakes. I sincerely apologize. This is I'm coming out. I'm coming out
yeah, so
and
why don't you
apologizing.
remind everybody why it's such a good idea to acquire, for lack of a better word, Greenland?
It's not. It's not. I stand corrected. I stand
Oh.
corrected.
Why does Trump want it though? I actually didn't really look into this too
Uh,
hard when it.
I
when it was,
remember. I think he. I don't know why. Well, he wants it for. What the fuck? The article just said. It said for the world security and freedom. That's why. That's what he said.
the freedom.
Yes, but
Sure.
there's like ton of minerals that were recently discovered there.
Yeah.
That was one of that's why he wants it. That was one of them, and
That's right.
I think a couple years, more than a couple years ago, I think almost a decade ago, there was news that like since the polar ice caps are melting, new and new more and more trade routes are being discovered um, over the North Pole. Uh,
It's interesting.
and if we've ever taken a look, Greenland is kind of like securely there, so it has the potential to become a major hub for trade and a huge
I feel like
security
we're
risk.
resetting to like the 1500s. Like
Yeah,
it's not even we're not even going back to the 50s. It just feels very like
it's
we're
like just
discovering new trade routes. Like that
well,
feels.
like things keep changing
I
all the
get it.
time, you know.
Well,
So
right.
the I think and I'm definitely wrong about this, but I think we're due for a magnetic shift even. There's a certain set of period where like the Earth poles switch. I think ours is
Interesting.
like coming up soon, and like I know like the Yosemite volcano is like set to explode too, and like we're supposed to get like massive tectonic shifts off the San Andreas faults. Like that all is like should be happening any minute now, kind of
Yes,
type deal.
we're kind of convert. Did you hear about
Yes,
the
yes. Don't
the
go there.
asteroid that
Don't,
we're gonna get
don't go
that we're
there.
getting in the next what 2034? Is that when we're supposed to
2032
get
and the
that?
percent. You know, have you looked into it?
The percentage keeps like increasing
Do you know
slightly.
what it? Do you know what it increased to?
What's the latest?
2%.
Yeah,
It changed from 1% to 2%.
it's a 50% increase.
It's
That's pretty
still 2%. What about the 98%? We're ignoring the 98%.
Actually, that's 100% increase. Actually, stupid. Yeah.
Dad Somer's education is showing.
Again, I know.
That's Hey,
Yep.
Connecticut is number 2, but we don't claim you anymore. We don't claim you anymore.
It's probably the air down here.
It's definitely the air down there. It's the no, but like so we've
This
lost.
one episode, I'm never gonna get any sort of local government position here because this
They're
one
gonna
episode
they're gonna
was
pull
shit
this up.
talking.
They're just gonna pull this off. Yeah. They're gonna pull this up
If they
on
have
ads. Like, look at this.
if
This is
they
who you
have
want.
the technological savvy, you might find it.
Yeah. But no, like, so we've lost track of it now. We've lost track of it for 2 years. It'll come back into focus, I believe, in 2028, 2026. And I think 2028. It'll come into the James Webb Telescope radar, and then they'll be able to do like better predictions then. But the chances then will change and
Something to watch.
most likely fall to 0. So
Yeah, I don't have high hopes.
stop falling for the clickbaits, guys, please. It's a 2% chance that'll hit
Fake news.
right now, and it's still millions of fucking miles away.
Speaking of kind of just, I guess the media kind of running rampant with something. This
Yeah.
is out of order, but and you might not have even like seen this pop up, but I just want to talk about the Save Act for a little bit because
Okay.
I've had like some like friends reach out kind of about it, kind of freaked out about it, and I just kind of wanted to like put it out there because so
What is the
basically
Save Act?
the Save Act
Oh, yes.
has
Yes.
been it's been introduced to the House before, but it got reintroduced recently.
Yes. And it's
Basically
passed.
requires
Did it not?
no.
Okay.
It requires like voters submit documents as proof of citizenship, which is a problem. We'll get to why it's a problem, but
Yes.
the blue MAGA, I guess for lack of a better word.
The fuck is
and
the blue MAGA?
And it's again, it's not this. I won't go far as actually to say that this is blue MAGA, but I feel like the way it's been perpetuated on TikTok has made it a lot more scary than it is. Like, it's not going to affect as many people as people on TikTok have kind of perpetuated it as. Basically, the concern is that you're a married woman, you changed your last name, your ID doesn't match your birth certificate, the law requires matching names, now you can't vote. So they're saying that this is a workaround way to, restrict women's right to vote.
Yeah.
Now,
Which is what it is.
An extent, yes, but it's more like almost like a poll tax because and it requires you to be relatively educated about your voter law and b just kind of what's going on in politics in general. Because if you don't know that this is there, maybe you got married, you updated your name, but you haven't gotten to your passport yet. Because if you update your passport and your married name matches, your new ID on your passport as well, you can use that as your secondary form of ID, your proof, and then you'll be able to vote. You'll be able to do whatever you got to do. But if you can't afford a passport, or you just have no idea that you need to do that, you are kind of fucked. So in a way it is, but also the way it's out there is if a married woman won't be able to vote anymore if you change your name. It is a little scarier than it needs to be.
Yeah. So are you saying blue MAGA? Can we go back to that a little bit? What the fuck is blue MAGA? Is that the liberals? Liberals going nutty?
It's just perpetuating, it's the fear mongering.
It's the fear mongering.
Of the left.
Yeah. They're just as bad.
I'm not saying it's not. I mean, this is putting up barriers to people voting.
Yeah.
And they're using the scapegoat of the illegal undocumented people, they're coming in and they're voting. They'll put out a bunch of misinformation because they have just been outright lying. They'll say, there was 30 million, illegal votes last election or whatever, when they've only found 30 incidences of any undocumented people ever voting. So it's it's just kind of ridiculous. But I did just kind of want to put that out there. It's really more increasing a financial and I guess having to deal with bureaucratic institutions. They're adding that. It's not a full-on there's no way around it thing. You know, you have to choose between being able to vote and changing your name. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not quite that. It's a little less dramatic, but it is still something to watch. And it's also it's being talked about as if it has already passed. It hasn't, and it probably won't.
And I think something like this, it's not I think, I don't want to say it's a gender issue because I think it's gonna target women mainly if this is gonna be, because men usually don't change their name, right? But it's what it is. It's more of a class issue. It's it's your economic social status issue, right? If you can't afford to do it,
there's a bunch of people who can't afford passports, or who
then you're not
never
voting.
bothered, not that they haven't bothered or who haven't gotten one, because if you're not going to leave the country, maybe you didn't feel like you needed that, so it would just kind of be a wasted expense anyway. And overall, in general, requiring more and more documentation for voting, it's a class thing, period, because it is lower income people who tend to have more issues with obtaining their documents. I mean,
so
if you ever experience homelessness, your chances of having lost some of your required documents are probably pretty high.
So it passed the House last time.
Did it?
Okay, so it says
the last time it was introduced?
Right here. So this is congress.gov. Introduced to House 50724. Reported to the House 61424, and then it says passed House 0710. And over here, if you look at it, so where it says tracker, it says introduced, and then it says passed House.
And the Senate probably never even. They probably just declined to even pick it up.
Because I think it was the Democratic-controlled Senate.
Yeah.
Well, what's it going to be now?
I mean, we'll see. I mean, hopefully, well, last time it did get like I think they said like 4 or 5 like Democratic support. I mean, we do have a different Congress now. I mean, I didn't look into who those 5 people were, but
I think it's gonna go through. Just
I don't
there's a
know.
high
We'll
chance.
see. We'll see. It's something I think to follow because it is a problem. I didn't want to make it sound like it's not like, oh, don't worry about this, but I do just want to say, I mean,
I don't think necessarily fear mongering is the way, but yeah.
Not fear mongering, and I also don't know if I would say that like this is a workaround to, you know, limit women's suffrage. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the intention. I think.
You don't think that's the intention, that it is to
the stated
prevent?
intention, I think, is already pretty shitty to, you know, target like.
So you don't think he's intending to like target women here, like specifically? I think you think he's just doing it because he wants to protect democracy and from the illegals that are voting?
I don't think it's to protect democracy. I think it's just to limit voting rights, period.
Yeah, I think I agree. I agree with that, but I think
no, I don't think
I think women are just
champion
gonna suffer the.
democracy.
I think it's just the side effect. Like the women are you're gonna suffer the side effect of this because it doesn't really
Yeah.
affect me, but it will affect somebody like you, right? You've been a hailer, now you want to change it to something else. Like either you cough up the coffers and to do it, or you
Right.
don't.
Right. I mean, it is a possibility, but I also I have the means to update my passport as well.
Right.
With the name, so
Right.
if push comes to shove, but again, it's like, you know, again, it's going to affect anybody who lost their documents, who can't afford to upkeep their documents, can't afford to change their name on documents,
Yeah.
like unnecessarily, all that sort of stuff.
I think it's just such an unnecessary thing to be to be doing this. It should be like the other way around, right?
It's a complete waste of congressional time. I mean,
It is.
It's another instance of making a problem out of something that's not a problem. If we fund, I mean, the payers funded the investigation into, you know, fraudulent voting, and they only uncovered 30 singular instances of voter fraud by undocumented people. 30 votes are not swaying they're not swaying a presidential election. Like, I'm sorry, they're not they're not swaying they're not swaying a town in a presidential election, you know, like the voter margins in that are huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not. And it's already illegal. Like, it can't get more illegal than it already is.
Right. Like, how does that even make sense? Yeah.
Like,
I think
if
it's just
they're
again,
finding a way
it's just stupid.
to do it illegally as it is
But-
now.
but-
I think those 30 people, if they're that gung ho, they'll probably figure out how to get 2 documents.
Yeah. That's not the really difficult. Yeah, but you know, and I kind of want to like talk about this before we end. And I do want to get it out of the way. It's kind of what we were talking about earlier too. You know what this is? This is performative, right? Like this is a performative thing. Like, look, we are protecting
Absolutely.
America, type thing, right?
That's what a lot of this stuff is. I mean, they're out there, like, all these bills being put forward, like, oh, look at us, we're finally in control and we're actually doing things. Those Democrats sat there which is kind of valid. Like,
No, it is 100% valid. And what you're saying,
didn't do anything, you know,
and what
like,
you're saying
even
now,
if they never get anything passed, even if they never get anywhere, they're like, well,
Yeah.
at least we're doing stuff, you know.
Yeah. And that point right there, I think, is a perfect leeway into what I actually want to talk about is the uselessness of the entire Democratic Party right now. We've heard.
You want to talk about Hakeem Jeffries?
I want to fucking talk about Hakeem Jeffries. Like, it's just stupid. It's just stupid.
I watched a press conference of his today, and he's probably the slowest talking congressperson there is right now. Which is
Even more than
impressive.
McConnell?
Well,
and John Larson?
Is still, like, able to speak.
And John Larson? You're telling me he's slower than John Larson, who paused for fucking 20 minutes? Brother, you're 76. Please just leave. McConnell, no. Hey, can we rally behind McConnell a little bit though? He's voted no to 3 Trump picks. Like,
at least he knows that he doesn't want people getting polio again. He's like, hey, I got polio.
Is there a little bit of soul in there?
It sucked. I don't want people to deal with that again. Or he thinks like in the 15 seconds he has left to live, he's like, I'm gonna get that again.
Not the 15 seconds. Bro, I swear to God, as they're like wheelchairing him around, I just think like just any minute he's just like it's right there. It's happening. Like we're gonna get that on national TV, bro. Like it's gonna happen on national TV. I swear to God. Like,
That's
can
what
you just
happens
go
when you
rest,
don't-
bro? Please.
That's what happens when you don't retire on time.
Anyways, shifting back to fucking. It doesn't even just start with Hakeem Jeffries. The whole thing that I sent you regarding fucking Maxine Waters and like all those people like standing outside of the Department of Education. It's one fucking person. It's literally one noodlehead skinny ass person, and there's like fucking 8 of you. Do these people like really not fucking realize who they are? Like just go
No.
in. Like do they not realize how they are? Yeah. Like people are talking about like, but you don't see the fucking swath of police standing behind him. Dude, that's a fucking like a mall cop, bro. Do you not know who these fucking people are? These are the elected.
Congress people, like, you can go in there.
Like these are the elected people of the United States Congress.
Yeah.
The most powerful the United States literally could go to war with every single country on the planet at the same time and possibly win. Like, this is how strong this goddamn nation is. This is how big this fucking powerful. Like it can. We like to think Russia is like, and I've mentioned this before. Like we like to think like Russia has competed with us. No, fuck no. Like Russia's fucking GDP last year was $2 trillion. The United States was at 24. Do you realize the astronomical number of difference between those two things? Like, you realize how fucking strong we are compared to Russia? Like, this is the most powerful nation on the goddamn planet. And you are elected by these. You are essentially the leaders of this. So, why is one fucking person? Why is cops stopping you? Okay. We get it. Me and you understand. You don't control the Senate. You don't control the House. You don't control the White House. You don't control the Supreme Court.
There's an opposition party for a reason. There's a minority.
Totally get it.
Like you have to do
like we totally understand that. Like we totally get that, right? Bro, if you're gonna do all this performative it is performative. What they were doing, standing outside that fucking building in front of these reporters, talking about like, look at this man, like he won't let us go in. It benefits nobody. We get it. You are performing. You are doing theater right there. But make it good. Why are we doing this B-level fucking production? Can we at least step it the fuck up and get into like the Hollywood level shit? Like you have a budget. You know what I mean? Go in. Get arrested. It will bring you more. It will bring you more publicity that you really want.
Maybe they'd be willing to get arrested, right?
But there were young people there. There was fucking the congressman from Texas. He's young, and then another congressman, young congressman. I don't remember his name. From Florida. He's there, standing there, bro. Go in, get arrested, show the people that you are actually fighting for. We understand you are performing, that you're gonna be out in a fucking night. Like, you think the cops are really gonna fucking arrest you and hold you and send you off to fucking Guantanamo Bay, brother? Like, it's not fucking happening to you. You're gonna be out in like a couple of hours. But do the performance.
I think just in general, the talking points are pretty weak right now. I guess to reference Doge, I mean, this whole like stream just kind of got away from us today, so I watched the part of the Doge subcommittee meeting, and all we heard over and over again from the Dems was that Elon's unelected. Like, all these people, there's a ton of unelected people making decisions in the government.
Yes.
Like that's what appointees are. That's what all these employees are. Like that's not a strong talking point. Also,
Yeah. No,
like
it's not.
in Hakeem Jeffries' uh, conference today, he talked about again how like the price of eggs aren't going down, the price of food isn't going down. Yeah, but it hasn't shot up yet to the point where people are feeling it any more than they did under Biden. So
Right.
this can't be attributed to Trump yet. So again, it's a weak talking point, and people are probably sick of hearing it over and over again.
Yes.
If you can, I don't think it's a bad thing to be talking to people about, but I think maybe we pocket it for a little bit until things start getting really shitty.
No, I don't. And I'm not disagreeing with you there. I think they just stop at like at just the talking points, right? They go like, oh, look at the price of the eggs aren't going in. Okay, well, you got to follow up with something here. You got to follow up with some sort of action here, right? Like, so okay, what?
Like they are just kind of putting it out there as like, oh, the price of the eggs are going up, and people are upset about that, but they're not saying because of this thing that Trump did, or at least say because of Trump's inaction on bird flu.
And no, like all that is great, but like the members of Congress don't even need to do that, right? Because your established media will do that for you, right? You don't think CNN is going to cover like, oh, the price of eggs are high. Oh, what has the Trump administration going to done for you, or MSNB? You know what I mean? Like, or your non-traditional new media that's popping up out of it. You don't think they're going to cover it? No, you're a fucking member of Congress, dude. Do your fucking job. Like, yeah. We understand. You don't just go on fucking. I hated that. I really fucking hated that with a passion. And I thought he would be like somebody that's a little bit more younger after Nancy and being the leader. He would show a little bit more initiative, right? Like, dude. You are so close. There's 2 special elections coming through, right? Help those people. How are you going to help them? What is your fucking job? Introduce a bill. Hey, price of eggs are really fucking strong. We're not just here to fight Trump. We're here to fight for you. The Republican administration doesn't fight you. They fight the media. They've said that over and over again. They cloud the media with so much shit. You need to do the same thing. You need to do the same thing.
I mean, multiple GOP people blamed the government for things this week. Like, I don't remember.
You're the fucking government, dog.
I think it was Kristi Noem was like, oh, well, the government like isn't working on this, and then the reporter who was interviewing her was like, you're the government.
Right.
Like, you understand that, right? Like, you are the government.
You're it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, that's been their strategy. Like, oh, blame the institution, blame the government, blah blah blah. But it's like, well, okay, now you have to pivot to we're the government, we're doing things, and they're not prepared for that. So we should exploit that weakness somehow.
Yeah. But that strategy works for them, right? Because think about it, like okay, so Texas, South Carolina, they've been Republican for how many years? And it's the same fucking thing, right? Like, oh, they come in, their talking point is like, hey, the government isn't working for you. Well, you've been in power for fucking 30 years, dog. You are the government. You've been here. Like, you are it. So if something is not working for you, it's your fault. So somebody like fucking Hakeem Jeffries needs to be like, hey, price of eggs are fucking high because of Donald Trump. Here's what we're doing. We're introducing this bill, this bill, this bill, this bill, or we're targeting this to do this. Show people that you're doing something. Force them, force the Republicans to not work with you. They control the House. They 100% control the House. So if they want to do something, they have to work with you. So if they work with you, they're breaking party lines. They're going against Donald Trump. If they don't work with you, then it shows to the fucking media. Then you can go with the concrete fucking proof. Hey, look at this. We try to pass this, and they didn't work with us.
Yeah.
They didn't do this. Give the media something to talk about. Don't just fucking sit there. Where's our leverage? Suck my dick, dog. This where that leverage is. Like, do your job. Do your job. Do your job. This is why I fucking hate the Democrats.
With the budget resolution, I mean, it's already cracked on the Republican side. Like, they're not a cohesive group on that. Like, there's some people who don't think it goes far enough with the cuts. So, I mean, if a couple of them don't vote for it, I would be extremely disappointed if they were able to make it up with any Democratic votes. Like, I think that would be... I'm not saying I think that's going to happen. I don't really see it happening, but you never know with Democrats.
You can't.
They love to you know,
You had
be more
Cinema. You had
bipartisan.
fucking the dickhead from
Yes.
West Virginia. You know, like we love the Democrats love to just fucking like we're the adults in the room. We have to work with each other, dude.
It's
They don't want to work with you.
bipartisan. Yeah.
We're the adults. We're it. Like we have to. We got to bring the country together. They have no interest in that. They're fucking focused on red, white, and blue land, dog. Like, come on, man. Like, it's just like it's just stupid. It's just stupid. And how they operate is just stupid. That's why somebody like fucking AOC needed to be in charge of some sort of fucking committee. Like there needs to be this like the Democrats in Washington have to get out of this fucking insane bubble they're in. And again, the guy just got elected. What is it, Ken fucking Martins or whatever that just got elected to the DNC chair. I don't exactly know what the fuck the DNC does or how much power they have over these fucking congressmen over there. I would assume they have some sort of lineup and some sort of connection to him.
I think
He needs to
mostly
really
they're
be
in charge of elections and messaging and stuff like that.
Yeah, so whoever that guy is, like, brother, you got a long road ahead of you. You need to be working overtime. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, like, it's only gonna get worse. Like, clock in. Like, lock it the fuck down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, talk to Hakeem Jeffries. Be like, yo, that, you look like a sad puppy. Like, stop looking like a sad puppy. You're a goddamn United States representative of fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like, act like it. Yeah, be the hindrance. Like if you think they're being fascist, but like I saw one TikTok today. The guy's like I'm supposed to call my fucking representative. What the fuck are you doing? What am I gonna call? What's my phone call doing?
Right,
Like if you think fascism
like,
is happening, what am I doing?
Calling. Like, do you want me to call you and give you ideas?
Like what? Like you think what's my phone call gonna do? Like you're down the hall, dog. Like you do something. Do something. Show some fucking action, man. Like what is happening here? What is happening here? This is why my fucking mantra is gonna be so whatever is happening the last 3 weeks and whatever happens over the next 4 years, Joe Biden and that entire administration is equally to blame. Is equally to blame. It's 100%. You think Joe Biden wasn't fucking doing genocide and doing tricks on Netanyahu's fucking cock? Like, let me just fucking twerk on you, big dog. And then Netanyahu comes in, he's like, President Biden's the best ally and best president, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing here? Like, it's all a joke. It's a big fucking joke. You know what I mean? Like, I like that.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Right. I mean, with all that, I mean, with just speaking of on Israel in particular, I mean, it's almost worse to give them everything that they want, like the Biden administration did, and still be seen as like an opposition
The bad guy
to them or like a weak in terms of them,
Yeah.
Whereas Trump at least gets to be seen as like strong, and he made the rules there, and he got what he wanted by giving them what they wanted. It's like we just look stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, to cut it back to a little bit, just I think that we can end it here. But just on the new budget resolution coming through, I think they've proposed somewhere of let's have some sort of semblance of and your hard work and appreciate your hard work for putting together a timeline and actually talk about something on the timeline. Yeah.
It's all right. I mean, it's good. Well, we've touched on pretty much everything, but
the cuts are almost to what, like $1 billion or something like that.
I mean they want to cut $2 trillion in spending. So
right.
That's the stuff coming from like
in this budget resolution.
Education, yes, the environment, energy, all that sort of stuff. It's all coming from there.
Medicare, Social Security will definitely be on the chopping blocks, I'm sure.
For sure. I think that is in or like food stamps and stuff like that. That's there's going to be cuts there.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, a lot of Republicans still don't think it's enough because it still doesn't make up the deficit that extending Trump's tax
$36 trillion. Yeah. It won't.
And for the record, I mean, they're still including a debt limit increase of another like $4 trillion. So
yeah.
I mean, the better for the, you know, the debt's unacceptable crew and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I don't.
And
I understand that you can't really operate a government right now, or this government anyway, without doing that. But I mean, the way it's messaged again might be something to look into.
yeah, and isn't it like I don't know if you already mentioned it, kind of like zoned out. Not because of you, but I was just in my head. Um, so $2 trillion is what they want to cut, but then there's also the taxpayer for the billionaires. What is it, like $4 trillion or something like that? Did you mention that? The tax cuts are like an upwards of that amount.
Right. So it
Because
says,
the only thing he passed last time he was president was that tax bill that we are in still to this day. I think one of his things was he's going to come in and do that again to make it even lower, like a lower corporate tax and give a tax cut to the billionaires, which I really want to fucking know to all the people that voted for Trump. How's that going to fix your prices? Who's going to pay for that tax for the fall off, right? So there you're get ready to get screwed. Like that's just what it is. What more can you say, right? Like it's
right.
rough times ahead.
Yeah, it's.
I'm bringing receipts. Y'all better have yours.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this resolution is going to be the first step in. This is basically them laying out like where they're going to be cutting from, and what all the budgets are going to be. They also have to. They basically have to put all of these like cuts and plans and like budgets that they're making, put them into one bill so that they can
Pass
avoid another government shutdown.
Right.
That's slightly different, but that's going to be in March. So I mean,
yeah,
they've got a lot to do. So we're going to be watching this and monitoring it kind of going on, but and putting more research into like economically kind of what all this means.
Yeah.
I think that's something we should kind of look into. Like what is it going to translate to for us when those tax cuts become permanent and
right.
There's a $4.7, you know, $4.7 trillion like tax cut, you know, like
right.
mostly helps the billionaires.
You know what we should do too is I don't know if would an accountant be good person to talk about this? Would they know what's going to happen?
Yeah, as long as they're like a tax expert, I would think.
Yeah. You think they would know like what changes are actually going to happen? So maybe I can talk to my accountant.
They need to follow this information to make sure that they're following the tax codes correctly.
Maybe I'll talk to my accountant. He's just a brilliant guy. Just brilliant, amazing guy. I don't know if he'll exactly have time because he works like 3 jobs every single day.
Yeah, especially right now, probably not if he does.
Tax season. But maybe he can cut like an hour out of the time. He's this amazing Sri Lankan guy. Really, really brilliant when it comes to like taxes and stuff. So I'll ask him if he can maybe join us, or if he can maybe if he can like maybe we can come up with some questions, and I can ask him some questions, and you know, he can run us through like what's going to change, how it is, how it all work out. Maybe he can set up some scenarios like examples and stuff like that for me, and like maybe we can talk about that. Well, we're cool, we're tight, we're like that, you know.
Best buds with your accountant.
Yeah, well, he's got to be. He's got to save me some money. Why is Trump the only one getting the benefits? I gotta get me some too. I gotta give me a piece of the pie. No, I have no problem paying taxes. I think it's great. I think we should be paying taxes. It's just don't fucking send them to fucking the military, please. Use my taxes to pay for the kids' lunch, please. I am 100% fine with that.
Right, like why can't we just do things that are gonna benefit people? But no, instead we're looking to cut energy, cut the farm
USAID,
subsidies,
Consumer Protection Bureau.
Yeah, that one's kind of slipped through like the media, right? Which that should be a big deal to people.
Oh,
like,
you know what's even slipped through more? The NLRB. that's even slipped through. Like that shit is getting fucking hammered as well.
Is it? I haven't even seen.
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh, it's taking some beatings from Musk, and because they were investigating Musk and Jeff Bezos, so it's a double
Yes.
fucking beatdown from there. 2 billionaires
That's
ganging up on that.
suspicious. Yeah.
So yeah, even there's been some mention of the consumer protection, but NLRB that just gone in the wind. It's gone. Yeah, that's all I got. Oh, you know what what I will mention is if anybody's here, uh, tell us what you guys want us to talk about. We'll definitely take some ideas. We'll definitely research that, look
Yeah,
that up.
definitely. If there's anything in particular.
It's even better. And even on YouTube, if you see this, please comment on us and let us know like what you guys want to hear about, what you guys want to talk about. It doesn't have to be the U.S. It can be worldwide. We're happy to look at it. What I've been kind of following up closely on is what's going to happen with the energy prices since there's a meeting coming up, a negotiation for Ukraine with Putin and MBS and Trump coming up soon to negotiate the end of this war and how that's going to play out. And that's a complicated issue. It's going to involve a lot of energy talks and territory concessions from Ukraine, and then how it'll end up on Ukraine's side. So um, how those negotiations going to do, and from what it seems like is the U.S. consumer and Ukraine are pretty much going to be the losers here. So we'll see. That's a whole mess that's coming up ahead of us. So we're definitely willing to take more and more um, questions from you guys for sure. Please. What do you got? Anything else? I think we're good.
I think we're good to go ahead and end that there.
I think we covered all of it. I think we talked pretty much everything. I think they also passed like an offshoot mention. Officer Raul Gonzalez Act. I saw Mike Johnson tweet it and put it on his Instagram. It's something to do with like if you're breaking into the country, like they can charge you criminally now. Before it was only a civil matter, you had to go in front of an immigration judge. Now I think it's going to allow them to. I think it's passed already.
Yeah, it says past house
Um,
last year.
last year, he just tweeted about it just now.
It says past house 130 2024.
Huh. No idea. Um, I just saw the tweet today, so this is when this is me just finding out about it right now, actually. Um,
Yeah, I wonder why they're bringing it back up.
maybe it's ready to get to the Senate floor. Maybe tweaking it a little bit or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
But it's something. So that just got passed. But anyways, but we appreciate you guys joining us. Thank you as always from all the factors here. We really appreciate you guys interacting, coming in, supporting us. We're working on some of the back end stuff to try to. And I say this every week. We're slowly working on expanding our social media presence more. So we'll definitely iron out the kinks.
This week we're gonna get some posts on Instagram and
Yes, please also follow us there too. All the
and
factors.
TikTok. Yes, all the factors. We also have TikTok. We have a Blue
Yes.
Sky. They're
Yes.
all at all the factors.
Yes. Definitely follow us on Twitch and YouTube. Those will be the big, and then we're gonna continue to post on Instagram to interact with everybody. So
If anybody
we'd love
missed
to.
the interview with Dr. Cirillo, that is on YouTube now. So if you want to check it out,
Yes, very
that's all the
informative,
factors.
very excellent.
Mhm.
And we're working on some amazing guests for you guys that actually know a lot more than we do. Certainly a lot more than me.
Not
Uh,
just bullshitting
yeah,
between
not
us
not not just me yelling.
before
Uh,
as we go forward, hopefully.
not me just yelling all the time and Annette just trying to like make a point and then stay on topic on the sheets she makes every week and me just like derailing
Yeah.
it, Train
Staying
mentioned.
on topic.
Train mentioned. We had to sneak that right in there.
Squeeze your impression in
I just
there?
want trains,
Go.
bro. Like I was talking to my wife about it, bro. Like it just sucks. Like man, like
We know you
like,
want
we could just
trains.
we could just
Someday.
have trains. We could literally just have trains. Is that autistic?
That's
Is
what
it-
you were accused of, yes.
It's got to be a little. I think just trains. Just like, hey man, like come on, like who hates trains? There's not. How many times do you hear like trains fucking like going wrong? We got planes falling out of the sky, helicopters crashing in there. Like, dude, just trains. Like, just give me
Well,
a cool
that's-
fucking train.
Do you think so? Are we just hearing about more airplane disasters, or are they occurring more frequently? What do you think?
I think they are occurring more. Well, okay.
Just
So,
like ours.
one thing. Blackhawks are notoriously bad.
Are they?
They crash all the time, like literally all the time. You can look up like black crashes or Osprey crashes, the Osprey planes. They're really badly designed. They look cool, but they're fucking horrible. Like they crash literally all the time. So we don't hear about them as much. But in terms of like commercial airliners, those are supposed to be a lot more safe, and that's a whole nother bad thing. We did a case study in my class, one of my classes, on Boeing. So when Boeing first started, they used to be a bunch of engineers in the board, but like ever since Reagan,
Now it's business people.
now it's a bunch of business people just cutting costs everywhere, and ever since then they've
Makes sense.
just seen the exponential crashes just skyrocket.
Yep.
Because engineers, their focus is like, I want to build a better machine, and they've been making them bigger and bigger, but like not consulting really well that many. Like it's more about cost saving rather than just like building it properly. So go trains. Go trains. But thank you guys. Reckon you are absolutely the best. They're just long cars, but they're better than cars. They go fast and they go straight, and you can enjoy a train. You can walk around in them. What car can you really walk around in? You
They
can
go
you could
so
get
fast
drunk in
and
a
they go
car
so
legal in
straight.
a train. Like you could literally get drunk in a train legally, enjoy the views, enjoy the countryside, and it makes cool sounds like
Is
like
that your
that is
standard
such a
for
soothing
the
sound.
quality of something? Like, can you get drunk in it?
Is it not? Hey, coming from you? Coming from you? I know your past, buddy.
Yeah, well, past is the past.
It's not the past. It's not the past. It's still around. Literally every other week you're texting me like, what tequila should I get? Like
For other people.
For other people, yeah, I'm sure, bud. How many stories do you text me about talking about like I just yelled at my in-laws? Like I just got in a fight.
What, like 2 years ago? Yeah. I think that's the last time.
No. It's literally like around the holidays. You're literally like, I don't think I'm gonna get that drunk where I start fighting people. Like it's literally that.
And I didn't.
I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. But thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming. We're train
Thanks.
enthusiasts in here. We will see you next Thursday.
Somebody.
As always, this is All the Factors with Nav.
And Annette.
There we go. Got that down right, man. We smooth with this shit. Yeah.
We're getting there. We're getting there. That's the first step. Next step is success.
Take it easy.
Bye.
All right.
All right.
That was good. That wasn't bad.
Our